And it's a great effort by Aiya. And a long time Aiya was, looking for this research topic that Aiya is going to reveal with the Tadhus. It's a wonderful session today. Let us go with the topic. I'm going to present the topic. Aiya is going to explain. Aiya, would you like to give an introduction on this before we start? Aiya, Aiya is muted. Aiya, mute lurking Aiya.
I've asked aiya to unmute. If he presses the button, he will be unmuted.
Yeah, I am unmuted now.
Modern. Able to hear me today?
Yes, I am. We can able to hear you.
Right. Modern. It is just a continuation of the previous meeting on meditation, and today I have few slides. I'll request Vijay Lakshmi ma'am to read them, go through them. The first few slides we have covered in the last session itself. Now the part which deals with the tanmatras and the equivalent of the Tadhus. The last 4 slides or so, you just read it for me. I'll explain when I'm right.
Okay, So we are going to discuss on the full potential of the meditation according to Patanjali Yoga Sutras, absolute space and life force, Panjabhutas and Saptha Tadhus, SVM, sexual vital fluid, brain and body transformation, stages and structural changes. We are going to discuss the depth of meditation, Patanjali's vision. Patanjali defines meditation not as mere relaxation but as a symmetric inward journey from gross awareness to the subtlest fabric of existence. The Yoga Sutras map a progression, dharana, concentration, to dhyana, to meditation, and to samadhi, absorption. Dharana, focus concentration on a single point. Dhyana, unbroken flow of awareness. Samadhi, complete union, self dissolves into object. True meditation begins when the mind ends in the silent expanse of absolute space. The absolute space, the permanent participant, the starting point. Absolute space, the primordial unbounded void, the ground of all existence. Meditator first experiences this as all encompassing stillness, surrounding self-compressive force. A self-compressive pressure force wraps around consciousness. Simultaneous presence. The meditator learns to hold space, energy particles, the life force particles, and the life force all at once simultaneously. Are we good on this? We'll go to next slide, Anaya. This is about cosmology, and the foundation that we saw about Patanjali's Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. Now we are going to discuss the elemental evolution from energy particles to the universe. Meditation reveals how energy particles undergo evolutionary changes from subtle to gross, giving rise to the 5 elements and the 7 bodily tissues, Saptha Tadhus. Absolute space, Akasha, and then energy particles, then magnetism, Panchatanmatras, and then Panchabhutas, represented by energy particles, and then Sabda Tatus, 7 tissues after Panchabhutas. The mind and meditation. Mind is biomagnetism. A formless energy fills the entire body, can be focused in a single point. Chakra meditation is biomagnetism manipulated as per requirement. Next, evolutionary states. Evolutionary meditation, concentration of magnetism intensifies through sustained meditation, the meditator gains access to extraordinary perceptual capacities, siddhas in Patanjali's framework. First one is clairvoyance, vision beyond the physical perceiving distant or subtle events. Clairaudience, hearing beyond ordinary range, inner sound, Nada Brahma. And next, visualization, direct inner perception of reality, mandalas, light forms, archetypes. And then reproduction, production, sperm and ovum and progeny. Pressure, touch, heaviness, movement, sound, light, taste and smell, Panchatanmatras in Panchabhutas. The Sabdatadus felt as or pursued as taste, smell, and ultimately function as sexual vital fluid. Now we are going to see the stages and levels of meditation. First one is preliminary. Pratyagara, sensory withdrawal, sitting still, breath regulation, withdrawal of attention inward. Concentration, which is dharana, fixing attention on absolute space, breathe, mantra, or subtle energy, reducing mental chatter. Third one is meditation, dhyana, unbroken flow, experiencing compressive force, energy particles, life force in simultaneously. Absorption, Savikalpa Samadhi, merger with the object of meditation, our awareness remains but duality thins. Next one is liberation, Nirvikalpa Samadhi, complete dissolution, no subject object divine, pure presence, Kaivalyam. These are the stages and levels of meditation. Next, neuroscience, structural changes in brain and body, brain transformation, prefrontal cortex thickening, increased gray matter density, enhanced decision making and self-awareness. The next one is in the brain transformation, amygdala reduction, reduced fear reactivity, emotional regulation improves markedly. Default mode, network quieting, less mind wandering, greater present moment focus. The fourth one is SVF accumulation in brain, enhanced neural plasticity, heightened perceptual sensitivity. The fifth one is corpus callosum enhancement, better left right hemisphere integration, holistic intelligence. Now, body transformations, reduced cortisol and stress markers, SVF density increases systematically, autonomic nervous system balance, immune function enhancement, mitochondrial efficiency gains, telomere length preservation. Now the integration part, the complete map, meditation's full potential from the foundation, Patanjali's framework, dharana to samadhi state, absolute space as start, cosmology equivalent, energy particles, dharana samadhi is a life force state, and absolute space as start, where the functioning of the absolute space, the Panchabhutas emerge. The biology side, SVF production, genetic center, which is brain, genetic center and connectivity with the brain, and the seven dhatus nourished. Perception, clairvoyance, clairaudience, direct visualization, transformation, brain neuroplasticity, SVF density increase, kaivalyam, liberation. All these different ventures of the meditation, Aiya has put very nicely the complete map. Meditation is not a technique but a way of life. It is a journey from the gross to the infinite, from the personal to the universal. Integration, biomagnetism from Buddhas and Tadhus. Akash pressure, second one, air sound, third one, fire, light and colors, fourth one, liquid, taste, fifth one, solid, taste and smell. In Ayurveda, the magnetism or vibrational intelligence perceived from the body's 7 physical tissues, dhadus, is known as prana, life force, and tejas, metabolic intelligence. The supreme magnetic essence of these tissues is collectively called ojas. Because the dhatus are physical, they lack explicit, separate physical names for their magnetic properties. Instead, Indian philosophy categorizes them by their functional frequencies or biological energies. Aya, would you like to give some more detail?
Yeah.
Thank you, Aya.
Dear friends, the biomagnetism, it starts with the Akash. And in the Panchabhutas, we know the Tanmatras well and we are able to understand. But when it comes to the Sadhus, we are not familiar with the magnetism and its manifestation in the body. We know from the juice and blood, but what is the magnetic energy that is coming out of the muscle, the bone, marrow, the from juice to the marrow, we are not able to understand the magnetic energy. I think it is not well explained. Am I right, Tarun?
Yeah, What was the question? Yes, sir.
See, what is the expression of the magnetism from the 7 Tadhus?
What is the expression of magnetism from the 7 dhatus?
Yeah,
It's different states of existence, right? So
right.
depending on whether it is liquid, solid, or the compression of the magnetic force.
Magnetic force.
Yeah, so however concentrated the magnetic force is, it depends on that concentration. Each dhatu reflects accordingly. For instance, right, blood is lighter than bone marrow, so the compression of the magnetic force is more in bone marrow than on the actual blood that we have.
I was going through the references and I'm just explaining it back. The slide, the complete map of meditation. Next slide, ma. Yes. Biomagnetism from the Panchabhutas and Saptha Tadhus. In the Saptha Tadhus level, from Akash, it is expressed as pressure, which we know the first bhuta. The second is air, where it is sound. Third, light. Fourth, the colors. And in the liquid state, it is taste. In solid, it is smell. But as far as the bhutas, the Tadhus concerned, and I we get the details in Ayurveda better. In Ayurveda, the magnetism or the vibrational intelligence perceived from the body, the 7 physical tissues, tadus, is known as prana. And the prana is the the divine dust particles, the subatomic particles, energy particles, called in various terminologies. And it forms the life force also. And here you get the manifestation as prana first. Then the second, it is tejas, the metabolic intelligence, the supreme magnetic essence of the tissues is collectively called ojas. We are familiar with the term ojas, but what ojas is explained here. The tadus are physical, they lack explicit, separate, physical, physical names. Their magnetic properties. Instead, in Indian philosophy, categorizes them by their functional frequencies or biologic energies. So this is collectively called ojas. We are familiar with the term ojas, but this explanation of what ojas is given here. The next slide. Prana is the subtle energy, energetic vibration that animates all the physical body. And the vital energy flowing through the Srodhas, the microcirculatory pathways of the energy, and it governs the sensory and motor functions. The Tejas, transformative energy, or the fire, such as the Agni. Within each tissue, its perceptive intelligence of the cells, allowing the tadus to radiate warmth and luminosity, is the Tejas. And Ojas, what is Ojas? The spiritual magnetism. Ojas is the finest essence of all seven tadus combined. It sits at the juncture of matter and consciousness. It is frequently described as the force responsible for the spiritual magnetism. Bodily immunity, vitality, and it is manifested as the aura in the individuals. So prana, tejas, ojas are somewhat familiar terms, and we are getting new explanations from the Ayurveda. Next slide, ma'am. The tadus are Rasatadu, Raktatadu, Mamsatadu, and the we will see in the next slide. Rasatadu is plasma or juice, and governed by the water, jala water, magnetism of emotional fluidity. Raktatadu, blood, is governed by Agni, fire, and perceived as the dynamic, pulsating vitality and electromagnetic heat in the blood cardiovascular system. And in the next, Mamsatadu, it is governed by Prithvi, grounding magnetic force of stability. So these three, Rasatadu, Raktatadu, and Mamsatadu, are in the cells, and they are collectively felt than individually. The next slide. Biomagnetism from the Medha Thadu, the fat, governed by Jala, Prithvi, related to the subtle magnetism of lubrication, insulating, and nourishment. So the earlier levels of magnetism, biomagnetism, were from individual cells. Here it is the it is more from the lot of the fat present in not only in one cell but all the cells in the marrow and all. This magnetism gives lubrication, insulation, and nourishment. And the next one is Asthitadu bone thought, governed by Vada and Pitta, Prithvi, Vada and Prithvi, and it emits the energy of support and rigidity. Majjathadu is the bone marrow, and in Ayurveda they include nerves, and we know brain is the major source of the sexual vital fluid, and it is the place where the nerves are also forming and connecting the body with the brain. And Majjathadu governed by Vada and Akasha. And Majja forms the magnetic communication network of the nervous system. So here from Ayurveda, we get some information about the nature of magnetism that is coming out from the Saptha Tadhus. And next slide. The Shukra Tadhu. We are familiar with the term sexual vital fluid, and it has two type of functions: reproductive, and the other is somatic function. The Shukra Tadhu, the ultimate purest, the reproductive and creative magnetic spark of life. Related to the physical body, it is activities are related to the cells and the extracellular fluid. The other function is sexual function connected with the testes in the ovaries and the creation of the progeny. Related to the astral and causal body is the second part of the energy from the sexual vital fluid. The astral and the causal bodies are connected to this portion of the energy related to the life force and the energy particles. The mind and suprahuman activity of the brain and the mind are connected to the energy from the sexual vital fluid. So these are the various manifestation of the biomagnetic energy with more density and quantity of the biomagnetic energy. And these various levels of biomagnetic energy are available in the body. In Ajna meditation, we have seen the volume of biomagnetism concentrated there gives its effect. From there, it also manifests as that of the air, fire, water, the liquid and solid. So these man, when you concentrate more of biomagnetism in Agnya, you get the effect of the sound, light, taste, and smell. And when you are perceiving the smell, you concentrate on the smell and draw the energy from the fifth bhuta. You can also get the first bhuta, Akash, which is just a pressure. And from the second, you get the sound, and the Omkar is understood from that. And you can also focus on the next level of magnetism, that is the visual effects, the colors, and uh, the third tanmatra is also acting. You can draw that energy. And similarly, in the Sabda Tadhus, though we are not familiar with the magnetism coming from each and every Sabda Tadhu, we know that the it is manifested as the prana, the from the magnetism from uh, the higher parts, higher levels of sadhus, which manifest as the uh, higher levels of biomagnetism, and ultimately as sexual vital. And the sexual vital fluid, you when we in meditation, if we focus on this sexual vital fluid, we can get it directly from the meditation to the energy that descends into our body in meditation. So builds up from the pressure, the second tanmatra, sound, third as the taste, and fourth as mm, the uh, various taste manifestation from the taste sensation. And the next one is you get the smell. And at this level, mm, you can go to the experience of Mahavira in his meditation, early stages of meditation. When he was initiated and allowed us to meditate, he used to do it under the guidance of the Tirthankaras, the Jaina gurus. And every day after completing the meditation, he will come and report his experience. He was telling, now I feel the heaviness and the warmth is there and all. They'll say, yes, very good, go and meditate. Then next level, he will come and tell them that it is, I'm hearing the sounds and all. Yes, meaningfully, very good, you are progressing the right way. Then meditate further. There he was getting the flashes of light, and they encouraged him to do further. When he was able to taste the amrut and the nectar he was feeling, and this was also okayed by the Tirthankaras, and he was asked to meditate further. And when he said he is able to perceive the smell, then they said, now you have reached the fifth Tanmatra. Now you can concentrate on the same state, and that the meditative experience was appreciated, and he was encouraged to do the meditation by himself. And similarly, what we have observed in this is with the accumulation of energy, mm, biomagnetic energy, we move from the first Tanmatra to the fifth Tanmatra. And when this magnetism still increases further, it goes to the first Thadu to the seventh Thadu. And the details of it, I'm seeing it for the first time from Ayurveda. And if we focus on these, we will be able to get more information. And these magnetic forces from biomagnetic forces from the Saptha Tadhus are building up steadily, just like the Tanmatra level, to culminate in the sexual vital fluid. The sexual vital fluid is able to do the somatic function of repairing the damaged cells and bringing more vitality to the cells, and the their function improves to a great extent. And when it is allowed to continue, concentrate more, then the manifestation of the SVF, the Shukratadu, comes out. Where the maturity of the ovum and the sperm, and with their union, they are able to bring out a progeny. So this is the same magnetism, and the magnetism that comes of sexual vital fluid activates the higher centers in the brain, and we are able to proceed beyond the body level, and we are able to understand the, mm, the supra cortical states of existence. And here it culminates with the absolute space and the total silence. The experience of the silence is achieved at this level. And what I feel important is that is you can draw energy at various levels of the concentration of the biomagnetism, from prana to the to that of the magnetism exhibited by the Rakta Tadhu and the Mamsa Tadhu. All those things are con- activities related to the body, Tadhus, and beyond when it comes to sexual vital fluid, Shukra Tadhu, it is a superhuman performance, and we are able to understand the divinity more closely, and ultimately we enjoy the silence, and we become one with the absolute space. So in this way, the depth of meditation and the in its effect on the body and the psyche is taking us deeper and deeper closer to the absolute space, and the samadhi states are achieved and explained. I think here we will stop, and I will ask for the feedback from the audience participants.
வாழ்க வளமுடன் sir. Manisha here.
Yes, ma.
Yeah. Thank you for integrating this yogic philosophy with the science aspect of Maharishi. I have a question because, as you mentioned, as you integrated Patanjali's, so Patanjali's Yoga Sutras are derived from basically Samkhya philosophy, the dual philosophy, where it's the Purusha and the Prakriti, where and Prakriti's Trigunas, the Rajas, Tamas, and Sattva gunas are in balance. But when the Purusha and Prakriti come together, these gunas change and then the manifestation happens. Like very roughly, I'm just whatever I understood. So, how do you relate the trigunas here? Like you mentioned bhutas and the dhatus, but what is the role of those trigunas in this? The whole journey from the absolute space to the dhatus. If
The,
we can
the
also
trigunas, the trigunas are constitutional or manifested in the entire body, just like the impact of the intensity of the magnetism is felt all over the body. And these gunas are basically related to uh, the sadhus and the bhutas put together. And each one has a balance of the three gunas, but they are in fluctuation. At one time you are more sattvic, then you are the rajasic or tamasic. And the manifestations of the three gunas are well known. And now the three gunas explain the way the constitution of the individual is manifested through the three gunas. And yogic practice can uh, give a chance to change from the uh, tamasic to rajasic and rajasic to sattvic. The success in the uh, practice, yogic, psychic practices, yogic practice takes you to the sattvic state. Sattvic state is the most preferred for improvement and not the rajasic or tamasic, isn't it? These meditations, the practices will take us from the tamasic to sattvic. And when the sattvic predominates, you are able to get the blessings of your practice. You are able to get the uh, better coordinated activity. The from the level of the energy particles, you go to the energy level, and from the energy level, the trigunas decide. And when you go beyond the this thing, where the particles merge with the space to become magnetism and refinement of the magnetic levels, you get the divine experiences, suprahuman experiences, and you go to samadhi. And that explains how we progress further with the help of our meditations and psychic practices. Is it does it explain to some extent integrates the
Yes,
philosophy and the science?
yes, sir. In in yoga, they also say that we have to go beyond the trigunas, like triguna rahitam.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Trigunas decide the initial level, lower level. When gunatita, trigunas, you overcome the effect of the gunas and you attain the stage of gunatita, and where the sattva, raja, tamas qualities, they don't affect you. You are beyond the effect of influence of these three gunas.
so we
Okay,
can associate. So, sir, can we associate the compressive force or the magnetism with the triguna? Like, if there is more magnetism, we could say it's
we are
satogun.
close to that tattva.
Tattva, yes, sir. And when we attain samadhi or when we merge with the absolute,
See,
there is no trigunas.
yes, see, now our biomagnetic field is in circulation in a spin, isn't it? In the periphery of the uh, biomagnetic field, in the spinning system of magnetism, it is the fastest they are in the uh, rajasic, and the opposite of it, tamasic, they manifest. But in the spinning system, as you come closer to the axis, then you get the speed itself comes down. In our biomagnetic field, the faster zones are the beta and alpha, the slower ones, the theta and delta. So it is the all are connected. Various aspects of the nature is focused and explained. That's all. Is it meaningful, Manisha?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. வாழ்க
No.
வளமுடன்.
All covered. Do we have Tarun here? Tarun,
Taranji.
Vijayalakshmi, do we have Tarun here?
Yes, yeah, I think so. Tarunaya, you got muted. Tarunaya. Ashwinji is leaving, Aya. Can we ask Ashwinji's
Yes.
questions?
Ashwinji,
Ashwinji, before you leave, do you want to give any comments?
Sorry, I'm down with very bad allergies for the last 3 days. So um, I've been listening and trying to concentrate, but I think the doctor has narrated very well in terms of relating with the Ayurveda and all that. And I don't feel I have anything more to add. And I'll have to leave in a minute or two. I'm sorry, I cannot concentrate too much.
oh,
Thank
okay,
you.
sir. When you are able to concentrate, I want you to think on this point that we can draw on energies on which we focus. We will be able to attract the magnetic state intensification, which is manifesting as sexual vital fluid. So, with depths of meditation, we will be able to draw the sexual vital fluid vibrations themselves. So, it is easy to uh, the energy with maximum potentials to change ourselves and
Certainly.
can you think about that when you are free, and we will discuss it later, sir.
Sure. Thank you. I appreciate your understanding. And வாழ்க வளமுடன்.
வாழ்க வளமுடன். Anyone who is having any
We have
idea?
Devi Amma, I think, in the admin user name, Amma.
I'm not able to see the participants list.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sudhandra Devi, வாழ்க வளமுடன்.
வாழ்க வளமுடன். Can you hear me?
வாழ்க
Yes,
வளமுடன்.
Amma, we can hear you.
வாழ்க வளமுடன், ஐயா. Rabi, it's really a nice, wonderful presentation. I want to appreciate you first for that. And the flow is so good. And you've also combined the Patanjali's form of dharana, dhyana, samadhi, and all that, and then have tried to assimilate it with Maharishi's biomagnetism principles also. So the flow, everything is very good. Of course, as you know, I differ on some points. So I don't want to elaborate on that. But this explanation about the prana, tejas, and ojas, that I would like to give a little explanation on that. Of course, in your presentation, it was given the prana is the life force, tejas is the metabolic intelligence, and ojas is the essence of pure energy. So,
yes,
and that is the exact thing. I've given a presentation on ojas in this group also, in other groups also. So according to that, of course, when we form the life force only is the cause for all the formative things in the whole universe and in our own body also. So a dhatu means it is a formative tissue of the physical body. So that's what we call a dhatu. So we have 7 dhatus on the whole put together forms our physical body. And the common idea is that each dhatu comes from the previous dhatu and is the precursor of the next dhatu. So that's how it goes. But After that, but there is a school of thought that there is, when you, the rasa dhatu, where the energy that has come from the universe, you can call it magnetism, prana, whatever it has come and then it has taken physical structures like the plants and minerals and all that. And then that has come in, we have taken it in the form of food and that is converted into the sort of a pulp, and that is what is rasa dhatu. And from that, each dhatu, rakta takes its own part, mamsa takes a part. So each dhatu takes whatever is necessary for building that dhatu or the formative tissue. And that's how muscle forms, fat forms, bone forms, neurological structures form. And the seventh dhatu is the finest energy. And each dhatu, from beginning to end, it is becoming finer and finer. So the seventh dhatu is a very fine dhatu, and that is the Shukra dhatu. So, but Ojas is not the seventh dhatu. Ojas is the eighth dhatu. So when all the physical structures are taken from the pulp, what is left is pure energy. That is called Suddha Shakti. In by all the Siddhas, Vallalar, even our Maharishi, that's called pure energy or Suddha Shakti. So that Shakti is condensed and that is present all over the body as the fluid of life, elixir of life, and that is called the Ojas. So if you understand this, how this prana, tejas, and ojas are related, you can imagine a lamp, a mud lamp. So that is our body. Imagine the lamp as our body, and you have oil in that. So oil is the compressed form of energy. So when some heat is given to it, it produces a flame. So the flame is the prana, and the flame produces two things. One is the heat and one is the light. So our body functions because of two things. Our metabolism of our body is heat and light. So the heat and the fire. So the oil in the lamp is the ojas, that is the condensed energy. And then the prana is the fire, that is the functioning energy, which gives out light and heat. That is what is seen by others, like in our face glows, our eyes are very brilliant. So all that is why we call a person with a bright face and all, we call the tejas is more for him. So, and that is which drives the metabolism also. So this is an old analogy. You can understand it better today by the gas. In a cylinder, we have LPG. That is called liquid petroleum gas. That is the condensed gas only. So that is the ojas. And when it comes into the tube, it comes out in the form of vayu or the prana. And then when it comes to the stove or the hob, it gives out light and heat, which causes the food to be cooked or whatever is to be done, it does. So that is the exactly light. That's how the ojas, tejas, and prana and tejas work in our body. So that is the one thing I wanted to say. And of course, another thing I wanted to say about the siddhis or the extrasensory perceptions. So just like our physical body has a representation in the brain, our taste, smell, sound, light, everything also has a representation, a part in the brain. So normally through the five senses, we stimulate that part of the brain. But in deep meditation, what happens is some of these parts, either one or two or in an order, some of these brain parts are electrically stimulated because of this prana or the magnetism. So when that part is stimulated, supposing the part related to the light, vision, it is stimulated, the energy concentrates more on that part, you get visions, you get light, blue light, green, purple light, etc. Then you have to, when the auditory area is stimulated, the energy is concentrated there, then you hear the bells sound and all that. And in yoga, as you go deeper into meditation, you are supposed to get the sound of 10 sounds, they call it. The sound of the sea, the conch, like silver bells and so many things, one by one, the flute. So like that, so many sounds, they manifest, it's been documented. So like that, that is how we get all those extrasensory perceptions. So that is the, and beyond that, when our brain waves go and get in tune with the universal tune, like the universe has a tuning mechanism. And when we tune into ourselves, our brain waves tune, gamma waves form, and we tune into the universal thing, then we get all that, even the future, seeing the future. Uh, so clairvoyance, clairaudience, all that it happens. You can know the future. You can know the solutions to all the problems, because all the solutions are there in the universe. Only thing is we are not able to connect it. And meditation and going deep into meditation is one way of connecting with the universe and getting the answers from that. So that's how Swamiji has said, individuality asks and the totality supplies. So that is one thing. But anyway, the presentation is very nice. Thank you, Ravi, for giving us the chance.
Thank you, Devi. I want to ask one thing to you.
Yes,
That is,
yes,
can we are drawing energy into our biomagnetic field in meditation, isn't it?
yes, maybe. I see, when our whole system becomes so quiet, the energy expenditure is not there, and you become one with the universe. You just draw it also.
That is, when we meditate, we feel Turiya or Agnya. You get connected to the uh, universal field where the divinity, divine cosmic energy, the higher forms of energy vibrations are so much. And when we are getting connected with a low level within our system to the high tension at the universal this thing, naturally it drains into the low tension, low potential this thing. So the universal essence comes down, and we call it the subatomic energy particles entering the within the body, and this forms the life force particle, and energy evolves further. And when we are in Agnya, we draw a certain type of energies. When we are in Turiya or Turiyatita, you get the higher mm, potential uh, magnetism more. And in that way, in meditation also, we move from first tanmatra to fifth, and fifth to the potentials, energies of the tadus, and ultimately the sexual vital fluid. So, can we absorb the energy level of energy which we want, to which we have evolved? Can we draw the sexual vital fluid magnetism directly from the universal field? This is what I wanted to know from you.
The first thing, still cannot accept what is the sexual vital fluid. Okay. So all
Sexual
the
vital
time,
fluid is Shukratadu in your terms.
no, not in my terms, it is not Shukra Dhatu. It is the eighth Dhatu or the Ojas.
Ojas. Okay.
Okay,
It
believe
is
of that,
the
believe of, see, all the time the energy from the universe is coming towards us. Only thing is we
yes.
are not receptive because our pores and because our rajasic activity and all that, we are we are closing our system to the energy that is coming. In meditation, we go into the sattvic state, so we become more receptive to the energy and we draw energy and enhance our own energy. And energy, when it is
No.
enhanced, it condenses and forms more ojas. So that way I can explain it.
My question is, when we are beginners, we get the feeling of heaviness, the mm, the warmth there, the basic levels of magnetic, biomagnetic accumulation we feel. When you go to Turiya, you feel still more. When you go to Turiya Theta, you get the deeper experiences. They all open up our system, close the system of biomagnetism to the higher forms of energy, namely the ojas or whatever it is, when becomes equal to the universal state, samadhi. All these things are only variations in the levels of magnetism. That is, the stronger the ojas you can draw directly as you do in Kayakalpa. Similarly, we can do it. So, i- our my understanding is with our mastering of the technique of meditation, we can draw higher forms of energy, like ojas, directly into our system. Is it right
Now
thinking?
I'll give it some thought, Obi.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, anybody else?
Varga, thank you for a nice,
Yeah.
coherent assimilation of information to gain some understanding. Varga. So, I need some time to digest the information. It has all been there. It's just that the dots connected nicely very well today. And I realizes there are some nuances which probably have some more interpretations, but that we'll leave it there at that point. But having said that, there's one more thing which I would like to add to the thought process here. Probably it has been addressed in one of your bullet points in the presentation. So I've always been thinking, one is the physical body, one is the causal body, one is the astral body, and try to bring it up and connect with the energy field. And as we go to higher stages of meditation, our low energy levels brings in the energy from the universe. Or that's how I've understood it, and I've kept it going on with it. And now I have more correlation with the Saptha Tadhus, which I struggled earlier on, and Dr. Ravi sir had helped me a lot, probably almost 8 years ago now. Having said that, just want to put one final point. The physical body, causal body, astral body. Now we have good understanding. I've come to great maturity in that. At least I have gained a lot of maturity. So when it comes to causal and astral body and the energy aspects of it, I'm trying to still try to put the dots together. And I would like to leave it at that point. Varakalamada.
See, the three bodies, physical, astral, causal. The physical is the atomic, the gross existence of the manifestation of the energy in the world. And when it is becoming the subatomic particles or quantum level, they become astral. The particles are astral, and when they become magnetic, it becomes causal.
Thank you. Yeah.
Will
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you know, is that appealing to you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It makes a
Right.
lot more coherence for me. Just that, as I said, I need to digest it in the presentation information together, and and it makes a lot of sense to me when you tell me, when we go at a deeper stage, our energy levels start not draining or losing. It's just that we start connecting to the outer worlds. At the end of the day, the magnetic wave emanates, and at some point, it dissipates in the universe. So the fact that when we are in deep stage of meditation, this particular universal magnetism is supplementary or individual magnetism is what I have always been believing in, and I cannot give a complete rationale. I'm not a physicist for that. But having said that, I've completely believed in that, and that's why I was very, very keen on doing my meditation practices. Now, then the halo effect, and the halo effect was something I was trying to understand, and I'll chew over this information as I go in this maturity path of my journey. Vargolam.
Can I
Not a
comment?
problem.
Yeah,
Can
Yes,
I comment?
please,
please.
please.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Just as I said earlier, also in my other presentation, when we talk about three bodies, we have three energies also with us. Nobody talks about that. So the
Uh-huh.
cosmic, no, three types of energies are also there. So the causal body has the atomic energy or subatomic or nuclear energy, what we call. And then when it comes to the astral, then it gets transformed. You know that it transforms into photons and then the sound waves, electromagnetic waves, microwaves, so many X-rays, gamma waves, all that is in the astral energies. And when it comes into our physical body, there are mainly two energies. One is the chemical energy and the electrical energy. Of course, the prana shakti is also there because that is the catalyst that makes this electrical and chemical reactions function, but without change, it comes in. It's like act as a catalyst for the electrical and the chemical energies and for our whole body to function. So if we understand it like that, I think it makes. And the prana shakti is what is motivating our mind. For the functioning of the mind, we need that prana shakti, and the physical reactions, all the actions have taken place because of the chemical and electrical energies. So these are all the causes the same. But then there are transformations and there are different forms of energy which cause different actions in our body and in the as universe also, because you see sound, you see light, you see radio waves, each and then microwaves, each one gives a different effect because of the different frequencies. So that is the explanation I'd like to give.
Thank you, ma. Thank you, ma'am. Vargolam.
வாழ்கோளமுடன் ஐயா நான் லீலா பண்ணுறேன்.
Yes.
I have one very fundamental doubt. We are calling it as SVF, sexual vital fluid. So,
Yes.
but otherwise we can call it as vital energy fluid. Why
Why
to
you are
call
separating? Why you are allergic to the word sexual?
it is that energy
It's both
that
mean the same.
vital
Sexual vital fluid
vital.
and vital fluid means the same. We use the
Agree.
word sexual only to say that it is connected with the sexual activity of procreation. So the other energies are not connected with the procreation. So this is a potency both for somatic as well as sexual. So we call it sexual vital fluid. And by avoiding the term sexual, you are not becoming anyway different.
But
So
the
by the
function of
addition
the
of this word, your thoughts may not be misled once you come to the understanding of the spiritual practices.
yes, sir. Agreed, sir. But the vital energy fluid, it has got many functions for
Yes.
connecting to divine through Susumana Nadi, taking to Turyadida, and energy. It gives the energy throughout our body. There are many functions, but when you call it as sexual, it only refers to reproduction purpose. Why to
No.
the function is not only for reproduction purpose, it does the many functions. Then why to specifically call it as sexual? We can call it as vital energy fluid.
This question you have been asking right from the very early days of your joining this group.
Yes,
Am
sir.
I
Yes,
right?
sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So,
Exactly.
and
Yes.
and we will have a separate discussion. Why sex here? We will do it. Maharishi has given this word
Okay.
to mean that it is the somatic as well as sexual, both together.
We can. I request you to please give one day time for explaining how the sexual vital fluid name is arrived finally. Instead of energy vital fluid.
The voice is getting broken. Anyway, we
It
will see.
will
I
be
got the point.
useful
We will
to
have a
everyone,
discussion.
sir.
We will have a discussion.
For
But in
வாழ்க
Tamil,
வளம்.
we call it Jiva Vittu Kulambu. In Tamil, we don't have the word sex. Jivan means life. So in Tamil, we have life
So,
force only, life essence.
so
But
yes.
why only in translation
Okay.
this got
Thank you.
multiplied.
Okay. Thank you.
okay,
Vital
okay.
energy. Vital energy. It is a
Jiva means
Jivan
Jiva means
life.
the life with the life, and this vital energy alone may not explain the sexual activity, production of the the ovum and sperm, and their activities, governing their activities, facilitating fertilization and growth. All those things are by the vital energy alone may not be able to do it. It is doing it, and we are, by including this term sexual vital fluid, we give more clarity.
Yeah, Vargavalam.
Okay.
Sorry, I just got myself unmuted. There was some issue with my mic. Wonderful presentation. I just wanted to clarify about the sexual word in it. It is actually
Yes.
correct because Jiva with is seed. What is seed? Seed is always a sexuality of growth, right? So how would you describe that word with related to progenation in English? Sexual is the only word that's available. So the word is correctly coined by Maharishi is Jiva with Korambu, sexual. For Jiva, vitality is important. You could have said vital sexual fluid, but it didn't coin very well. So sexual vital fluid makes it much clearer because with there is no equivalent word in English other than sexual.
No, Vittu means origin. Vittu is the
No, in a
starting point.
human being, what is an origin? What would you relate it?
Origin is energy particle or wind
No,
particle.
no, a human being is born out of sexual interaction anyway. So how do you tell that? The seed of your seed of your life is your sexual vital sexual ovum
Sexual
and
is the
sperm.
activity. It is the
See, that is
activity.
modern interpretation of a bad name that is being given. In English, sexual means what Aya already said is an encasing of your progenation things. Anything that is related to sperm encasing or ovum encasing is called sexual thing. Sexual activity is different, but what is sexuality is basically what is encasing the growth of a living being. So in modern days, yes, obviously things have been wrongly interpreted and used it, but the real meaning is that encases the growth of living being. But that's how I interpreted and looked at it. I looked at the meaning in many dictionaries and went and spoke to many professors. They never complained about the word that. It's just that modern people think sexuality is wrong because it's been attributed to certain act that is being performed quote unquote within the screen that they are thinking it is. It's not sexual act he talked about, it's the sexuality. The encasing of sexuality is basically the next generation of growing progeny, procreation, whatever you want to call it. So there is no equivalent word in English, and I don't see that word as anything wrong in saying sexual vital fluid. Neither did any professors that I spoke to. They accepted it very easily. So, oh, yeah, that makes sense. And that's probably what everybody said. So,
if we understand sex and sexuality, then it will be clear.
There's nothing wrong with the word, but what is happening is in the teaching in the lower levels. See, this is giving a lot of confusion, and then when you present it to outsiders, this is getting the whole our Maharishi's philosophy itself. It is given a lot of criticism because of this one word. Of course, the Vindu, what we call Vittu in Tamil, is called Vindu or Bindu. Bindu means a dot. And what is the origin of the universe is a combination of nada and bindu. Nada is vibration. When it becomes a dot, that is when it becomes an atom, that is the seed of this whole universe. So they say nada bindu kaladi namo nama. That's how it the Kumaraguru says. So it is the nada and bindu. That is the creation or the origin of this whole universe. And that is what is represented as a vittu. In Tamil, it's called vittu. And in the physical form, we have this nada and bindu is called shukradhatu, shuklam and suronidam. In that, for physical conception in the reproductive terms, it is called shuklam and suronidam. But the origin of universe is called nada and bindu. And bindu transformed into vindu and vittu. So that is how, why is that word vittu means? It's because that is the origin.
And nada is magnetism in the origin. What is
Nada
nada?
is the first vibration.
Okay.
Panda.
Madam, Saundara Devi, madam.
Yes.
I have Vindu Nada. Vindu is meant for male. And what is the equivalent term for the female aspects? Vindu Nadam. Vindu is the a sperm of male part. And the Nadam, as you refer, it is a sound.
Nadam is the female aspect and Vindu is the male aspect.
It is ovum. Ovum is the nadam.
Yeah.
Ovum is the Nadam.
The energy
Okay.
behind it is the
Okay, Nadam we can call it as indirectly. It is means ovum.
Yes.
Okay, right. Thank you.
Yeah, we have Lal Mohan ji. I see.
Yes,
Lal Mohan
yes. Lal Mohan ji, welcome.
Lal Mohan, username LB, Aiya, Lal Mohan. Could you please unmute? Who is in LB? I thought it's Lal Mohan. It's not. Arunakaran. Any comments and feedback? Arunakaran.
Arunakaranaya, unmute yourself.
Aiya, you raised your hands, but you are muted. Arunakaran.
Yeah. I just learning from you people. I'm observing everything. I'm a learner. I'm a learner. Somatic cells, germ cells, everything I'm learning. Somatic cells, germ cells, everything you have been discussing, I'm learning.
The scientist trying to learn is something unique.
வாழ்க வளமுடன்.
வாழ்க வளமுடன்.
Prabhu Ayya, would you give one or two words?
வாழ்க வளமுடன். Thank you. I'm listening.
Yes, Prabhu, thank you.
Anandaya, you are in clinic, Ngaya. You can unmute, Ngaya.
Nice presentation, Ayya. Again, you have covered Maharishi's principles with science and also Patanjali's Ashtanga Yoga. It was very nice to hear again, Ayya. I have heard similar line of thoughts and your process of explaining the things scientifically few times from you. I have no questions specifically, Ayya. It's very nice to have this conversation and discussion.
Nice to hear your voice also.
Thank you, Ayya.
வாழ்க வளமுடன்.
Yes, shall we conclude?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Vijayalakshmi, you can conclude.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, thank you for this great presentation, Gaya. How the Tadhus you brought to the light for the discussion, and also how it is leading to, as Amma added the point, Swadhitra Devi Amma added the point with the 8th Tadhu. My question myself is why the Ayurveda is not getting into that 8th Tadhu, only Saptha Tadhu. That's my question. So with the 7th Tadhu, as Ayya put the point with the physical as well as astral causal level, so it's explaining both to the Ojas, and the Ojas Amma put the right term with the Sutta Sakti and the Sutta Sanmargam. Amma also pointed the Vallalar, which struck really great at this time with Ayya, how the Sabda Tadhu is turning towards the Sutta Sakti as Sutta Sanmargam. It's leading to the very great discussion to the Pathangaya. This is how this came into your mind is amazing towards that Ojas path that we are all looking for with the Sutta Sanmargam. Thank you so much, Ngaya, again. வாழ்க வளமுடன். With this, we'll conclude with the world blessings. May the world be blessed with plenty of rain. The farmers work to produce an abundance of grain. Let practitioners of all prosper, flourish, and grow. Culture progress through the need to share and grow. Let the rulers be beyond feelings of anger or fear, illiteracy, poverty, and all evils made to disappear. Let the true lamp of knowledge burn steady and bright. Our sense of duty guide us along paths always right. உலகமெல்லாம் பருவமழை ஒத்தபடி பெய்யட்டும், உழவரெல்லாம் தானியத்தை ஒப்புடனே பெருக்கட்டும், பல தொழில்கள் புரிகின்ற பாட்டாளி உயரட்டும், பகுத்துணர்வில் தொகுத்துணர்வு பண்பாட்டை உயர்த்தட்டும், கலகங்கள் போட்டி பகை கடந்தாற்றி நடக்கட்டும், கல்லாமை கடன் வறுமை களங்கங்கள் மறையட்டும், நலவாழ்வை அளிக்கும் மெய் ஞான ஒளி வீசட்டும், நம் கடமை அறவாழ்வின் நாட்டத்தே சிறக்கட்டும், நம் கடமை அறவாழ்வின் நாட்டத்தே சிறக்கட்டும், நம் கடமை அறவாழ்வின் நாட்டத்தே சிறக்கட்டும். வாழ்க வையகம், வாழ்க வையகம், வாழ்க வளமுடன். Thank you. வாழ்க வளமுடன்.